You guys can't see my face in that last clip, but you're probably wondering the same thing as I am. Where's the 4th cylinder? So I might have made a mistake, or the guy that helped me might have made a mistake. Maybe the website, I don't know. It was a couple cross references, a couple part numbers that we cross referenced, and they ended up coming out as a VG head gasket for one of the banks. So that is incorrect, as you guys saw. But the piston rings, those are legit. So that was kind of a failure of a intro of a video. I was super excited to get these packages in because I wanted to show you guys the awesome parts that I was getting for the CA because they are from Japan and it was cool and JDM and blah 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 blah, but that intro failed. As we speak right now, I'm uploading the video you guys just watched. You guys will see that, and I ordered my honing tool like I said. That will be here tomorrow, and then we will move forward with getting ready to put these new piston rings on the pistons and obviously honing out of the blocks. So we're gonna pray that the ring lands are good also. I didn't say anything about that, but pray for me on that one. Let's hope they're good. Let's hope there's no damages. That way we can just hone this thing out and get it done and over with. So when that guy gets in, that's when you guys will see me. So I'll see you then. What is going on, guys? We are starting off the day with pulling out these pistons out of this CA block. I got my cylinder hone. It came in this morning via Amazon. This guy was 25 bucks or 27 bucks shipped. This has got everything that I need to do to lay down some beautiful cross hatches on this cylinder wall here. Now I really hate the fact that I'm filming on my GoPro. You guys aren't going to really be able to see much, but this isn't too much of a how-to video. This is kind of just me sharing my progress with you guys and obviously continuing with my YouTube channel. So don't expect too much of a how-to or what's going on, but it's the same basic principles as any other motor. We pull the cap off, slide the piston out. We're checking piston rings and ring lands. This is piston 1. It looks beautiful. I have no complaints. The bearing looks awesome. There's maybe a little tiny groove right there if you can look close enough in the middle, but other than that, guys, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, there hasn't been any metal shavings, any sort of sparkles, nothing in the oil. This motor's been pristine so far. So let me show you the head gasket too. I pulled that off this morning, all nice, intact, one piece, no damages, no scars. It makes me really happy to see that this motor is really clean internally. So yeah, let me grab some stuff from in the house, like some more cardboard to lay on this wooden table because I don't really want to set this stuff all over here. Plus I'm going to be doing this one at a time, so I'm going to pull the piston, flip the block back over, hone it with the little flex hone here, and then I'm going to slap the new piston rings on this guy and then slide them back in and move my way to the back. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'll explain it to you guys when I get to honing so you guys can understand like how the process works and how I'm going to do it. These cylinder walls aren't that bad at all. All I really need to do is just lay down some nice crosshatch patterns. That way these new rings can seat, and that way we can have some good compression in these cylinders and not have to worry about that. So let me run in the house real quick, grab some of my cardboard and some other things that I was going to grab, and then we'll kick this video off. So I know I said I was going inside to grab some things and then I'd come back out, but I never started filming when I came back out, and I actually got called into work because one of my managers ended up getting sick and had to go to the hospital. So long story short, piston 1 is now installed with the new rings on it. The rings are laying over there. I got ahead of myself and did that off camera, so I moved over to cylinder 2 now, and piston number 2. This guy has already been, I'll go ahead and just roll it over for you since I've already pulled out the piston. This guy, as you see, has already been honed, and that one has not. I know it's hard to tell the differences here on the GoPro. Clean you guys off there so you can tell it's got a decent crosshatch in there. I've yet to do this one, but I just wanted to give you guys that example. So we'll set that back into place. I will show you the piston. She's laying over here. The rings on piston 2 look good. So do the ring lands. There's no damages. Everything looks good. A little bit of scarring, but nothing major, and a little bit of oranging and some carbon buildup on the top. Nothing crazy. The cap and bearings and such, they look perfectly fine, no issues, and same with the crank. She looks all good. So now while I have you guys and while I am filming, we're going to go ahead and grab the flex hone that's over here, spray it with some WD-40 Same thing with the cylinder, and lay some cross hatches in this guy and work our way to the back of the block, and we'll also install the piston rings while we have the pistons out. So let's get to it. Alright, so like I said to you guys earlier, I'm not really doing much of a how-to video. I'm not a machinist, I'm just more of a do-it-yourself kind of guy, learning as I go and such. I've watched a ton of videos, read things online, blah 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 blah. Had some friends give me some advice. We're going to go ahead and hone out this cylinder with the line hone and lay down some new cross hatches. I'm going to tape off the top of these cylinders here, so that way no debris and stuff gets into these guys when I'm honing this one. I'm going to clean this out with a rag and then lay down some WD-40, brake clean the crank, get everything ready, so that way I can clean it up when I'm done honing and put everything back together. So I'm going to do that, tape everything off right now, and then we'll film. So what I'm going to be doing with the line honer is just sending it in at about 750 RPM or 800, in between that range. As you guys can see, I'm just soaking down the, they call it a dingleberry honer. These are the little dingleberries, LOL. I'm soaking these guys up, oiling them up, and preparing them from cross hatching. And when you're going to lay down a cross hatch, what you want to do is send the hone in with it already spinning. That way you can start cutting along the top of the cylinder, and then move your way all the way to the bottom of the cylinder, and then go up and down at a very fast pace, keeping at 750 to 800 RPMs, laying your cross hatches. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And then I've got a rag. This has some ATF on it. I'm going to pour a little bit more and then clean out the rest of the cylinder. As you guys can see, it is all cleaned up. I might go ahead and do a little more cross hatching and try to get a little bit more of an angle and clean up the rest of the cylinder. But as you guys saw, that is the basics of it. We'll go ahead and knock out the remaining 2 cylinders after this one. Alright guys, now we're going to turn our attentions over to these pistons and piston rings. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the old rings here, as you guys can see. Check our ring lands. They look great. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the piston off a little bit. Alright, we'll get ready to go ahead and throw on our new rings. Alright, new rings are on there. Now we get to get ready to reinstall the piston into the cylinder. Alright guys, so when installing the piston, there's a little dot on the piston that signifies that that is the front of the motor. So you can go ahead and install it that way. The way you can get The piston end is using a piston ring compressor like I've got here. I've just got a cheap one. You do with this, guys, you just slide it around the piston and obviously compress the rings and slide it into the cylinder. So that's exactly what we are going to do. As you guys can see there. And now we get to installing the piston. I have my cap marked and my rod marked, so I know which way they go before I install them. And this just slides into the cylinder. I will show you guys in 1 second. Alright, so hopefully you guys don't fall. I have you set up here on my chair. I'm going to wipe the cylinder out one more time with a rag of ATF, and then we will install the piston into the cylinder. After I wipe it, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of this Lucas oil on here just so I can get it to slide in. And I'm going to check the bottom to make sure that the rod is sliding over the crank without damaging it. Remember to look. What's up?
What's happening?
Just putting together the motor.
Oh, for your car?
Yes, sir.
Parts come in?
No, not yet.
Oh.
This, well, the rings came in. This is what I'm doing now. It's the piston rings. But the head studs and stuff, they have not come in yet.
What training is that for?
What's that?
Is that a training for your car?
Yeah, that's the old one.
Man, it looks kind of big.
It's not too big. I guess it's, I mean, it's a decent size.
Damn. Building the whole damn motor.
Got the new rear main seal in there. Get the old one here. Toss that one away. Sealed these corners here also with a little bit of RTV and then around the back side. So that rear main is all done and golden. I'm going to clean up the bottom of this block here and then clean up my pan a little bit more and then prep to get this guy put on the bottom of this block. That way we can start throwing this engine together and getting her ready for all of these parts that should be here this next week. Actually this week, this upcoming week. So yeah. Oh, perfect timing, guys. UPS guy was rolling through the neighborhood and I got my head studs. Hell yeah. Little by little we're getting you back together. Thank you, UPS. Thank you. Woohoo! Head bolts. Alrighty guys, I've got the head on the block right now. I decided to throw those ARP head studs in there just for shits and giggles, just to see how everything looked. And I also got the water pump bolted up. So here's the motor standing up on the stand here, looking much better than she did when she came out. I had the manifold mocked up on it, and it looked really good. If you guys wanted to check that out, it's on my Instagram. I'm sure you guys understand what's going on with the motor, and things are getting kind of repetitive now, and you're seeing the whole process. So I just wanted to pop in real quick, show you guys what the motor was looking like right now at the very end of the video. And then I guess I'm just going to be playing the waiting game on this head gasket, and once that head gasket gets there, we can start getting this thing all thrown back together. That's the last piece of the puzzle. Other than that, guys, she's come along so far. That rear main went in pretty well, didn't have any issues with that. I need to also order some of the lip gaskets for my oil pan. They're actually down here on the bottom. This black piece right here, this guy pops out. It's a little lip gasket that helps seal up around the oil pan, and I do believe that's what was leaking in the first hand, because my rear main seal looks pretty decent when I pulled it out. Other than that, guys, my camera is getting a little warning sign for the low battery. I tried breaking out the Vixia today, and of course it had recording issues, so I'm going to take that thing to Best Buy and have it looked at, because it's under warranty, and I did buy a protection plan for that, because I'm kind of tired of using my GoPro, and I really want to show you like all this stuff up close, and this GoPro really doesn't do it any justice. Other than that, guys, that's what I have for today. That's about it. Whenever I figure out the next thing that I'm doing to the CA, I'll pop the camera on and we'll get to filming. Oh, and one last thing, I don't know if I told you guys, but the wheels that I purchased for my buddy, one of them was damaged, and this is the one here, and it actually got fixed up. My friend Matt, who's a TIG welder, the neighbor that lives right over here, he offered to give me a hand in fixing this guy up, and as you can see, she is looking good. I just wanted to throw that in here because I totally forgot to say anything about that. I'm going to throw a picture in of what it looked like, or a couple pictures of what it looked like, and now you guys get to see the final product. It looks really good. But other than that, guys, later.